So we start by talking about call options. So investor who buys a call, he expects the price of the underlying, so the underlying could be a stock or any financial instrument, to go up significantly. So the investor who's buying a call, he's expecting the price of some given stock or some given financial instrument will go up in the future. The person who is selling a call, now that investor expects the price to either remain constant, that remain at the steady level, or the price to go down. So obviously if you are buying a call, there should be someone who's selling a call, and the person buying a call has opposite expectation compared to the person who is selling a call, and vice versa. So now let us give a precise definition, and after that we will discuss an example to make things more clear. So the buyer of the call option, so since he's a buyer, it's a long position, he has the right but not the obligation, so he does not have the obligation to buy an agreed quantity of a particular stock or commodity or financial instrument. So it could be any financial instrument, and that's why instead of particular stock you could call it the underlying. So most likely in many places you say a call option on an underlying. An underlying could be a stock or a commodity or some financial instrument. So the buyer will buy it from a seller. The seller is called the writer. So since seller is selling the right, he is in the short position. So this call option can be exercised at a certain time. The certain time is the expiration date for a certain price, and this certain price is called the strike price. Now the seller is obligated to sell the underlying to the buyer if the buyer decides to exercise his right. So the seller will have to sell to the buyer if the buyer decides to exercise the option. And to exercise this right, the buyer has to pay a fee, which is called a premium, for the right to exercise a call option. Now what we have said is quite a mouthful, and let us see this working through an example. So the example is, say current price of a ABC corporation is $100. Now investor A, he expects price to go up significantly, so he's going to buy a call. Investor B expects price to remain steady or go down, so investor B is going to sell a call. So A buys a call contract for say 100 shares of ABC Corporation from B. So B is the seller or the writer, and A is in the long position. B is in the short position, for a strike price of 105 per share, and pays a premium of $3 per share. So again, so the particular in the definition, now focus on the definition. The particular stock is the ABC Corporation, and A has bought it from seller B at a certain time, that is there is an expiration date, for a certain price. The price is this here, 105 per share, and he pays a fee, and the fee is $3 per share. So when the first sale happens, A has given B $300. So because B is selling A the product, the right to exercise, so A has bought the right to exercise from B, which is for $300. So $3 per share, and he has bought 100 shares, so 3 times 100, 300. Now we talk about scenarios. So the first scenario is share price rises to $115 on the expiration date. Now in this case, A exercises his option and gets the shares for $105. In the definition, you see at a certain time, the expiration date for a certain price. So A has agreed that at the expiration date, he can buy shares from B at $105. So what will A do? A will buy the shares from B for $105 and sell them in the market for $115, because the share price in the market is $115. So the total gain is the number of shares times gain per share. So he makes $10 per share, 115 minus 105, because he buys at 105 from B and sells it for 115. So he buys for 105, sells it for 115, makes $10 per share. 10 times 100 is 1000. But he also paid this $300 in the initial stage to buy the right. So his total profit is $700. 1000 minus 300, $700. Now we talk about scenario 2. The stock price drops to $1.90 per share. So on the expiration date, so this scenario is always on the expiration date. So you can exercise only on the expiration date. So this is a European option. We will later on talk about the difference between European and American options, but right now just focus on this expiration date. So scenario 2 also on the expiration date. So say expiration date is precisely 31st December of a particular year, so you could fix any date. So scenario 2 is on the expiration date, the stock price drops to $1.90 per share. Now investor A does not exercise his call option. You know, obviously he definitely does not want to get the stock for $105 when he can buy it in the open market for $1.90. So current stock price is $90 and his contract is he can buy it for $105 from B. So obviously he does not want to buy for $105 what he could buy for $1.90. So notice that the seller is obligated to sell, but the buyer is not obligated to buy. So the buyer does not have the obligation to buy. The buyer does not have the obligation, but the seller is obligated to sell. So here he does not have the obligation to buy, so he does not buy it in the open market, and he ends up losing $300. So $300 is what he paid to B to exercise the right, and he loses it. So scenario 3 is the stock price is $108. So then the total gain per share is 108 minus 105, because A will buy the stock at 105 from B and sell it for 108. So total gain is $300, but A has also paid $300 to B. So total profit is 0. 300 minus 300 is 0. So the summary is this. You need to exercise option when stock is greater than the strike price. So in our case, if the stock price is more than 105, you exercise the option. But you will break even when the stock price is strike plus premium, because you paid $3 per share, so you can only break even if you recover 105 plus 3. So that is your strike price plus premium, and that we have shown in scenario 3. You can see you make 0 only if strike plus premium is equal to stock. So you break even here. So obviously to make profit, your stock price should be greater than strike plus premium. So just like in this case 115, this 115 is greater than 108, and therefore you can make money. But you have to exercise if the stock price is greater than the strike price, because in that case you can reduce your loss. You might not make money, but you will reduce your loss. So say for example, the stock price is $107. So this is between strike and strike plus premium. So you will not make any money, but you will reduce loss. So if you buy the share and sell it in the market, so total number of shares is 100 times, you will have 107 minus 105. So this will be equal to $200. So this is what you will make in the market, but you paid $300. So your total loss now would be 200 minus 300 minus 100. So your loss is $100. So if you did not exercise this option at $107, then you will lose all $300. So the basic story is exercise when stock is greater than the strike. So you may or may not make money, but you have to exercise the share when stock price is greater than the strike price.